You want it to be that way?
No, baby. I'm just trying. It was. Okay. This way. Nope, that don't work either. Phone was the best. Good evening, y'all. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. We are obviously not in our usual environment. Okay, let us know where you're streaming from. We're actually on the wrong time zone. Right time zone for you, wrong time zone for us. But
A different time zone.
yes, there it is. That's a better word for it to say. A different time.
Different time zone.
Yes, we are. Okay, let's jump in. Today, I wanted to talk about this evening.
What's your name?
My name is Jomo. I figured since we're already late, I wasn't going to jump right in.
Well, it's all good. We're on our time.
Yes. My name is Jomo.
I'm Charmaine.
And we get together on Friday nights for real, raw, and relevant conversation pertaining to relationships.
That's right.
Tonight, we're talking about 7 keys to keeping chemistry. One thing I seem to consistently see people struggle with keeping chemistry, or they say we've fallen out of love, we've grown apart.
Right.
I don't feel the way I used to feel about you. I've fallen out of love with you.
Right.
I don't love you like I used to love you. And all these things happen.
A lot of times when people say those things, if they look back, and I don't have a percentage or a statistic, but if they look back, they're not doing the same things that they did initially when they were feeling the way they feel. And that's why we don't get in relationships, because of feelings. We're going to feel differently as the wind changes. So you don't get into a relationship because of your feelings or your emotions. That's not the reason for being married or being in a relationship. So we can't operate on that.
Feelings change. And, it's funny. I heard a person say that it doesn't matter what you do, you have to put the work in. For example, last year, the Los Angeles Lakers added new people like towards the end of the basketball season. Prior to that, they said they didn't have chemistry. And so then they got some new people and they started working. Now they didn't win the championship. They said they would need more time to work on the chemistry.
But what makes chemistry in a good athletic team? How do you create the chemistry on a team?
Time invested.
Right.
Time invested and constant connection.
Right.
The good teams with good chemistry stay together for a long period of time. When you see the Golden State Warriors as a basketball team,
right,
they have kept their core pieces together and they have won 4 championships. It's because they put the time in and they've been willing to work through their issues.
Right.
Our brother Draymond, he'll fight people. Not a bad dude. Steph was going to shoot. Clay going to shoot. But they understood that they do better together and each person brings something to the table.
And I think, too, even when we're talking about teams as an analogy for relationships, when you talk about chemistry on a team, you have to know that them connecting doesn't necessarily mean that they all like each other, that they're all best friends, but they're being intentional about connecting. They're being intentional about communicating with each other. They're being intentional about getting together and doing things, because the more you spend time with someone, the more you get to know them, the better chemistry you're going to have on the field. And the thing is when we're talking about relationships, and the more time you spend with the person, more intentional time you spend with the person, asking them questions, getting to know them, observing. Sometimes you learn more without a conversation, but with actions in a relationship. So, you watch the person, you see what they do, you see their likes, you see their dislikes. Sometimes someone may be bad at communication, but if you observe them enough, you can be more intentional about serving them.
I think one of the keys Well, number one, let me get to my point. Number one,
Okay.
we got to make time to talk.
Absolutely.
Oftentimes when you see teams or relationships go off course is they don't communicate, or they poorly communicate, or in the process of them communicating, they've lost the grace. They've lost how to communicate in a manner that's loving. The Bible says, speak the truth in love. So we have to make sure when we're communicating, even though we're poor communicators, I mean, you could tell a person something, but did they hear you right? You know, I know I say stuff all the time, and people say all stuff all the time, and you thought you said it one way, but it may not be received. And that's just communication in general, because communication is an imperfect art. So we have to be conscious to make time to communicate and make sure we're on the same wavelength, on the same path.
I always want to go back, and I know you mentioned it a lot to the weekly meetings, because it forces you to intentionally communicate and intentionally talk to each other. And your questions don't have to be our questions, but it could be whatever questions you want it to be. But having an intentional weekly meeting on a regular basis is so important for your relationship, to gauge the atmosphere, the temperature of your relationship, so you know what you need to work on. You know the things that are important to your spouse, so that you can make those things important to you. So just talking and being intentional about talking is so important.
Number two,
all right,
show appreciation and gratitude. A lot of times we feel because we're adults and we don't have to appreciate what we do. So we had a joke last week, and Charmaine made some food, and she said, "Man, the dishwasher didn't come by last night." Now, in our house, I probably wash most dishes. Okay,
right. Yes,
not a bad or good thing. It's just what it is. Okay, it bothers me. Okay, so you know what bothers you, you do. So neither here nor there. So she said, "Jomo, we might need to get the dishwasher dealt with," right? So I made a joke. I said, "Listen, the next time I see that dishwasher, I'm going to slap him. I'm going to slap him and tell him, listen, he better get on his job." Now, of course, I'm talking about myself, okay? I'm the dishwasher. But she was showing an appreciation for me doing dishes. You would get a lot more service if a person heard you say, "I see you, I acknowledge you, I appreciate you, thank you." So what happens, we get in a place of entitlement where we feel like this is what they're supposed to do. Not saying they're not supposed to do it, but a thank you, a God bless you, I appreciate you, I honor you. Thank you for, that appreciation.
You say it all the time. Things that get rewarded get done.
Yeah, if you reward for something, you will get repetitive action. If you want repetitive action, you have to communicate how much it means to you. So many times we feel like people are mind readers and they should know better. Well, if they knew better, they would do better.
Nobody wants to cause conflict or strain in their relationship. That's not how anyone aspires to live.
Correct.
But acknowledging things that you like that your spouse does on a regular basis is so important too, because I remember a time in our relationship, I would do little things. And when things got really hectic in our life and we had another child, I stopped doing some of those things because I had to adjust my time. And I was thinking, you know what? He never says anything about these things. So he probably doesn't even value these things as much as he would value other things. So I stopped doing certain things. And then I found out years later when he mentioned, Charmaine used to, light a candle and the house just smelled so good when I came in. And I was thinking, I was doing that for him, but I didn't know that he actually, even, knew that that's what I was doing or liked that, because he never mentioned it. So I started doing it again, but I was just thinking, wow, if I would have asked versus just, going down my list of things that maybe wasn't acknowledged on my end, that probably would have been a better thing to do, like hindsight being 2020. But, when you acknowledge something even, we take out the trash or do little, task around the house, you think, oh, that's what they're supposed to do. But if you say, I really appreciate you doing that, it makes a person feel good to know that they're being appreciated for the task.
Grass must be watered. And just because you watered the grass last week,
yeah.
Listen, we came back from one of our trips this month, and the grass was like
dead.
Lord. And so we had to replace a large patch of our front yard.
Right.
Because for whatever reason, it wasn't getting enough water.
Right.
Just because it looks like it's alive doesn't mean you shouldn't water.
Right.
So our relationship needs lots of watering. And the Bible says we water with the word.
Yes.
Okay, number 3. Have you tried something new? Another way to keep chemistry is to try something new. Now, I'm not talking sex. I'm talking doing something different.
It could be that too.
Like we were on a plane this morning, and I tried smoked salmon. Okay. Mm-hmm. Now I thought it was raw until I ate it, and I said, "This ain't bad, right?" Now Charmaine has been ordering it when we get on the plane. Now I know some of y'all. I know what y'all just thought. How y'all ordering food on the plane? Let's not. Anyway, to God be the glory. They feed anyway. So I want to taste it, and so today I tried it.
And you know what? I actually tried to order for him because I knew he wasn't going to order the smoked salmon. So I was like, "Oh, we're going to have 2 frittatas." And I looked over to him. He's like, "I think I'm going to have the smoked salmon." I'm like, "Wow."
Yes.
That was awesome.
Listen, you'll never know what you have missed if you don't try.
Right.
And so the good thing for me, now let me tell you my rule. When I'm trying food, okay, I got to make sure there's enough food that if I don't like this, I'm still going to be good.
Like your sides?
Yeah, no, so they had a bagel, they had a boiled egg, and they had a fruit bowl, right? So if the salmon wasn't good, I was still good.
You were gonna eat the bagel.
Yes.
The fruit.
Yes.
And what else?
And whatever your leftovers were.
Whatever my leftovers. Yeah. I didn't have no leftovers.
Yeah.
Mine was so good.
Well, the key is trying something new.
Right.
If you feel like your relationship is in a rut, do something different.
And this creates new memories. It creates memories within your relationship and new experiences. And I don't care how old you are or when you got married, there's always something that you have not tried. And if you feel like you've tried everything, when you try it with someone new, it's a new experience because it's a different person. So don't let those things block you because it could be a new experience with a new person. It doesn't have to be like a bad memory. You can create new memories together. So I so encourage everyone, like we've never done iFly before. So that's been on my mind to like go over there one time and try
It's
that.
like the indoor skydiving thing.
Right. But I mean, create new memories and it's a lot of fun. It keeps your relationship fresh.
Correct. Okay. Show affection. We were in some airport and she said she was cold. So I gave her some PDA. What it is? Is that PDA? Yeah. Public displays of affection, right? So she said she was cold. So I said, come over here, let me warm you up. And I started
massaging my butt.
And she's like, that's not going to make me warm.
I didn't say my butt was cold.
I'm just trying to help the blood move around. You know what I'm saying? But
it was really sweet. It was
show
sweet. I love affection.
Okay. Next one, we about to land a plane.
Okay.
Date nights. We about to go on a date in about 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And you have to continue to date your wife for life.
That's it.
Never get so complacent to where you stop doing the necessities to keep your relationship stable and not allow it to become stagnant. Now, again, date night doesn't have to be a money thing. It could be a simple thing. It could be a free thing. It could be a picnic thing. There's many ways to make this happen, but do something together. Okay, number 6, do something different sexual routine. Change it up. For some of you.
Y'all doing the same position every night. Just try something new.
Go on the other side of the bed.
Go in the shower.
Well, whatever, y'all. Whatever.
Go in the garage.
Lord have mercy. I don't know why you saying stuff. Everyone's situation is different. Okay, and this is also.
Don't get arrested now. I didn't say go out in public. Close your garage door first.
Wow. Do something different. That's what we say. And another key aspect, and I think it's one of the biggest aspects of keeping your relationship chemistry going, is you got to make room for healing and forgiveness.
Oh, that's good.
One thing that could just finish your relationship is unforgiveness.
Yeah,
because it eats at you, and then you go from unforgiveness to bitterness, and then from bitterness to hate to rage. I've seen so many people who are kind, sweet people turn into a whole different person,
right,
when they never allowed themselves to heal, and they never forgave. So what happens, they become a metamorphosis of themselves. The Bible says that when you allow yourself to get so angry, it will never lead to the righteousness of Christ. It will take you out of character, and you will do things that you never thought you would do.
Right.
But you allowed yourself, because you have to let go and let God.
And you have to realize that you're not perfect as well.
What?
So the grace that you would want to be abound on your life, you need to give it.
Yeah.
And if this is a person you're going to be with for the rest of your life, then they're not perfect. They're going to make mistakes.
Flawed.
And, you know, why would you want to live the rest of your life thinking about something negative instead of focusing on the positive in your relationship?
True that. Well, we just want to drop a little nugget out for y'all tonight. We love you. God bless you. And remember, love, laugh, and learn. God bless you all. Peace. Bye-bye, y'all.